Hi guys, it's Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today's video is going to be my year of makeup empties. As you guys saw by the thumbnail, I'm going to share with you guys all the products that I used up during the year of 2023. This is probably my most popular, most viewed video on my channel, and I love making this video. When I started this channel, I always knew that I wanted to do a year of makeup empties, and I've been collecting my makeup empties since 2015. But anyway, here we're just gonna talk about makeup and perfume. I do add the perfume value towards my amount of total used up. Just so you guys know, not for the little deluxe size samples or the minis, but for the full size fragrance bottles or body sprays I do. So without any more rambling, let's just get started. I'm going to start real quick with the palettes. This has been kind of a thing that I do throughout the years, that I share with you guys all the palettes that I used up. And this year I used up 3. Obviously, the first one that I have here is my Panda palette from Urban Decay. This was the She-Hulk palette. I used it all up. I used up 10 shades. These 3 were broken when this palette came into my life. So I only had 10 here to begin with, but I used them all up. Then I used up my face palette from Urban Decay, another one. This is the Flush palette in the color Native. It had 3 products. It had a blush, a highlighter, and a bronzer, a huge bronzer here. And so I used them all up. They were nice. And then I used up the ABH Contour Kit in the light to medium shade range. It had 3 face powders on the top, like skin color type products. And then the bottom row had 3 different shades of bronzer, so I used them all up. And yeah, primers, I have these that I finished, 2 full size, 1 travel size, and then 4 little samples. The first one here from Cover FX, the anti-aging primer. I don't know if they still have it, but I really enjoyed it. The Becca Backlight Priming Filter, which I know they don't have anymore, but I do love it. I wish they still had. Oh, I think the Smashbox still carries it, I think. Not sure. Then Cover FX, the Water Cloud Primer. That was a nice primer. From Too Faced, the Hangover RX Primer. This is just okay. Bare Minerals Primetime Original Primer. Didn't care for it. Bobbi Brown, like Face Base, I think that's what it's called. It's just called Face Base, so that's it. And then the Milk Makeup. This is the Hydro Grip Primer. I believe e.l.f. has a dupe, and I own that dupe, so hopefully I'll see if they actually are dupes. I have these foundations. I have 6 of them. The L'Oreal BB Magic Skin Brightener Primer. I was using that one since last year. I used it to lighten some other foundations that were a little bit too dark for me. The Fenty Beauty Foundation Stick, or multi-purpose stick, I can't recall what it's called. It was a nice stick, but I didn't really care for it. The one from Merit, though, I really did enjoy this one. This one was in the color Linen. A little bit too light for me. The name of this is actually Perfecting Complexion Stick. The color, like I said, was slightly too light for me. And I do have another one that's in what I believe will be my correct shade, so I'm excited to use it again. Then the Marc Jacobs Extra Shot. This is a concealer / foundation. You can use it as either or. I do have it in the foundation category because I used it all over my face. I didn't just use it as a concealer. Then the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. Really nice. I do have 3 of these backups. And then this one from Lancome, the UV Mineral CC cream. My mom gave me that one. And so it wasn't full. It had maybe, I don't know, like a 1/4 of it left. But I did use it up. I do have 1 concealer. This is Benefits Erase Paste in the color number 2 medium. I didn't really use much concealer. Yeah, used it all up. Love it. So sad that this has been discontinued, but I used it up. Aside from the 3 face powders that I used up in the ABH Contour Kit, I did use up 3 additional pressed powders. The L'Oreal Infallible Foundation Powder. I used it really as a powder, not really as a foundation. I did use foundation underneath it. Then the L'Oreal True Match Powder. This could be considered also a powder foundation because it has so much coverage. But I did use it as a regular face powder. And then the NYX Finishing HD Powder is supposed to be translucent. If you guys saw my top 5, bottom 5 video, you guys would have seen this made it into my bottom 5. go check that video out if you guys want to know what else I thought about that. Then in addition to those pressed powders, I did use up 5 loose powders. This one was the only full size, the Becca Hydra Mist, sorry, face powder. This has been discontinued because, you know, Becca is no longer a thing. But I really enjoyed it. I also really enjoyed this one from Tatcha. Then this one from KVD Vegan Beauty. Love that powder. I've used it before many times and I do enjoy it. Another favorite of mine, the Laura Mercier Translucent Luciding Powder. And then the Tarte, what is this called? Double Duty Beauty was a really nice powder as well. So I really enjoyed all these powders with the exception of the NYX. And this one was just an okay powder. Aside from the powders, bronzers that I did use up in my ABH Contour Kit and Urban Decay palette, I didn't use up any more, but I did use up one cream bronzer, and this one is from Merit. This is the Bronze Balm in the color Clay. Very nice bronzer. As you guys can see, I used it all up. I used it all over my face. Very easy to use, very easy to blend out, and the color match, if I say so myself, was pretty spot on for me, so I really did like it. For blushes, aside from the one that I finished in my Urban Decay face palette, I did use up 2 other ones. They're both mini, but even the mini ones count as 1 in my makeup inventory, so I'm very happy to get 4 total. But let's talk about the powder ones first. So this one is from Bare Minerals. This is called the Bounce and Blur, you can't see, Bounce and Blur blush. I don't think they make this formula anymore, but this was really small, maybe the size of a quarter, so not a very big blush, but like I said, it counts as 1. And the other one was from Tarte. This is the Amazonian Clay in the color Thankful. This was a kind of a bright pink, a little bit bigger than the one from Bare Minerals, but I'm glad that I used it up. And then this one was the cream blush from Kaja in the color 04 Feisty. I'm not a fan of this blush. I have said it all year long. Glad that I got it out of my collection, used it up, would never repurchase. Moving on to the highlighters, aside from the one highlighter that I finished up as well on the Urban Decay palette, I used up 2 additional ones. This one from Catrice, which was really nice, the highlighting powder. I don't know if they still make this anymore, but this was in the color 20 Champagne Campaign. Really nice, very easy to wear highlighter. Not chunky or glittery, very, very beautiful. And then this one from Becca, this is in the color Rose Gold. Really enjoyed this highlighter. This was the last Rose Gold that I owned in my collection. So, oh no, I think I have it in my face palette, so I might have another one. And then I have 2 that I'm considering cream, even though one's a pencil and the other one's liquid, but we're just gonna roll with it. This one is from from Ulta Beauty. This was a brow bone highlighter, but I did use this to draw all over my face, and then I blended it in with my face primer, and it created a nice like glowy on the face, glowy look on the face. I did go through this super fast because I was drawing all over my face. This is supposed to be only for your brows, so used it up fairly quickly. But I'm still glad that I got use out of it. And then this one is Benefit's High Beam. Really enjoyed using this one. I wish they still made it. I mean, they do, but in smaller sizes. But I finished those 4. These are my face powders. I feel like I used up quite a few face what did I say? Face powders? Setting mists. What am I thinking? I don't know what I'm thinking, but these are my setting mists. And I used up 4 full size and 3 little deluxe size samples. I feel like at the beginning of the year, I went through them fairly, really fast, but then towards the end of the year, I kind of stopped using them a lot. Starting off on this side, I have the one from Morphe. I liked this one at the beginning, but I ended up not liking it at the end because this is a mattifying setting mist, and towards the end, it was like spitting out like lotiony, watery lotiony type thing. So I thought that was kind of weird. I did buy this at Marshall's, but I wouldn't buy it again, even if I was at Marshall's. The Tarte Maracuja Miracle Mist. I used this mainly I did use it on my face, but I used it mostly to wet my beauty blender on my lazy days. So I think that's why I went through this one so fast. The ColourPop Pretty Fresh. I don't think this did anything for me, so I wouldn't repurchase. the Kula makeup setting spray. I use this in the car to help reapply my setting spray, my SPF during the summer when it's hot. This one from Tatcha. This is the Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. I'm not into a dewy looking, like, I don't care for dewy looking face. Like, I want to look a little bit more matte than dewy, so I don't care for it, and I wouldn't spend the money on the price of this thing. I hope that made sense. My all-time favorite all-nighter setting spray from Urban Decay, and then this little mini one from Tarte Shape Tape. Same thing, I used it mainly like my Maracuja one to wet my beauty blender. For my brow products, I have these right here. I have these, my brow color and my brow gel. So for colors, I'm gonna go first with this product from Merit. This is the brow pomade in the color Neutral. This one's a little bit too gray for my liking. I didn't like how my brows look, but I do have another one in the color Dark Brown, and I think, can you guys, I don't know, can you guys see the color right there on the rim of the thing? It looks just too gray. I don't think it works good for me, but like I said, I have the other one, so hopefully that's a better match color for me. And then I have one little deluxe size from the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I don't like micro pencils like this. I'm not good at it. My brows look really harsh and just weird, so I stay away from tiny pencils like this. My favorite though of all year was this one from ABH. This is the brow powder duo in the color Ebony. Although I think this shade was a little bit too dark for me, I somehow made it work. But yeah, I used it all up. Awesome powder. I think it looked great. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about this. I would consider repurchasing. However, I've realized that after using this, I've realized that I can use a brown eyeshadow, and so that's what I've decided to do. I'm gonna try to use an brown eyeshadow to not only help put a dent in my eyeshadow collection, but also to help me save some money in buying products like this. So that's that. As far as brow gels, I have the L'Oreal Unbelievable Brow. This is a long wear water top coat for your brows. This is amazing. It's really nice, but it's kind of expensive. That's why I haven't repurchased it. I would like to buy it, but it's kind of expensive, like I said. And then a really nice one that I found this year was NYX the Brow Glue. This was a really nice brow gel. Really kept my brows in place, but didn't make them feel like crunchy. And I really did enjoy it. Now for eyeshadow, in addition to my 10 shadows that I used up in my Panda palette, I did finish a few more additional, so we're gonna go through those. I have one single here from MAC. This one was in the color Malt. This was a cream colored eyeshadow that I used to set my eyeshadow primer. I've been kind of lazy, to be honest, and I haven't been using like a cream eyeshadow to set my my eyeshadow primer. Usually in previous years I have like 2 or 3 cream colored eyeshadows that I use up, but this year I only have this one, and I've just been using face powder to set my eyeshadow primer. So I need to get back into using cream colored eyeshadows so I can put a dent in my eyeshadow collection. So anyway, that's that. And then I used up 3 more shades from this Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. This is what the palette is looking like. So I used up Steady, what color is this? Bathwater and Pop. Hopefully in this 2024 I can get use of Baby, Harajuku, Danger, 1987, and Punk. I don't care to pan these 2 shades, but the other 5 hopefully I can use up in 2024. So that's it for the regular eyeshadows. And then I used up 1 cream shadow, and it's a shadow stick from Sephora collection. This one just in the color Brown, and I used this one as an eyeliner actually. So that's the nice thing about eyeshadow crayons. You can use them as eyeliners or as an eyeshadow. In hindsight, I should have done this before the eyeshadows, but these are my eyeshadow primers that I used up in 2023. So I have this, oh my gosh, this is so old, the e.l.f. glitter primer. Oh my goodness, this is so old. I can probably still get a little, I have a little bit left, but I have decided that it's okay to let it go. I've used the majority of this, and I repurchased the one from, because e.l.f. doesn't make this anymore, and I repurchased one from oh my gosh, is it NYX? I think I think it's from NYX, if I'm not mistaken. So really enjoyed this. I had this for years. It worked really well till the last day I used it, but like I said, it's old and it's time that I let this go. And then the one from Smashbox, the 24-hour photo finish eyeshadow primer, really like this one. And this one from Ulta, the matte eye primer, I really didn't like that one. It dried out, not a good eyeshadow primer, do not recommend. For eyeliners, guys, this is all I used up. I've been kind of getting lazy over the years, and I've been using eyeliner less and less. I don't know why I'm not using it. But anyway, I did use up 2 pencil liners. This one was from Trish McAvoy. It was just a black one. And this one was from the Sephora collection, and it's a very pretty teal color. And I did use up one liquid liner, and it's just a black liner from Maybelline. This is the Master Precise All Day liquid liner, and I believe it's waterproof, if I'm not mistaken. And this one was really nice, and it lasted me forever. For lash primers, I only used up one, the L'Oreal Voluminous Primer. This is comparable, very comparable to the Lancome XL Booster, XL Lash Booster or something like that. I can't remember. God, it's been so long since I used it because I've been really just buying this one instead of that other one. This is 100% a dupe for it. And this year I only used up one, surprisingly, because I used up a lot of waterproof mascaras. I don't use primer when I use waterproof mascaras because I feel like the waterproof mascara holds the curl fine without it. But yeah, primers, used up one, so that's what happens when you're lazy. I totally missed the bag. Anyway, moving on to mascaras. These are the mascaras that I used up. Really quickly, I will tell you if I would repurchase. The Maybelline Air Volume Mascara would not repurchase. e.l.f. Lash and Roll. It's a dupe for the Roller Lash from Benefit, would 100% repurchase. The L'Oreal Telescopic wouldn't repurchase. Voluminous Lash Paradise. Oh, this is a base. Huh. This is a primer too. So I used up 2 primers. I gotta change that in my numbers. Let me double check. Yes, it is. Did I like this? I don't remember. I probably didn't. So I used up, that's a primer, sorry. Anyway, the Essence Lash Princess, it was just okay. I don't think I would repurchase. The, is it Maybelline? Bambi Eye Mascara? I think it's Maybelline. I wouldn't repurchase. Maybelline Falsies Mascara, I would repurchase. I really like it. CoverGirl Lash Blast Mascara, would repurchase. I really do like it. I've used these 2 for years. Then the L'Oreal Paris Unlimited Mascara, I think, yeah, Unlimited. Didn't care for it. I hated the packaging, so wouldn't repurchase. Milk Makeup's Kush Mascara. It has a lot of hype, but I didn't care for it, unfortunately, so I wouldn't buy it. And Merit, I didn't think it was that great. It kind of let me down. It was very dry formula. I felt like it didn't deposit anything on my eyelashes. Would not get again. For lip liners, I have 5. I have 1 pencil, like sharpenable pencil, and then one of those 4 retractable. But this little one is from the brand Shawnee. This came in a little gift set that I got for Christmas, I believe, last year. And it was an okay liner. It was kind of like orangey. It was a little bit metallic-y. It was fine. You couldn't really tell under, because I wore it under my liquid lipsticks. But yeah, it was just okay. And then these 4 from Buxom, different shades. My favorite one was this one right here, which it's the Powerline lip liner from Buxom. And then this one was my favorite shade. This one was my favorite color, which was in Recharged Ruby. It was a very pretty hot pink color. And then this one was a favorite second, Powerful Plum. It was a very dark berry color, very nice for in the fall. I really enjoy these. I would buy them again. They would have to be purchased during an Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty, which is how I purchased these to begin with, because they're very expensive. And I have here my lip products. I have separated them into like lipstick, lip glosses, and lip balms. So if I use them as my nighttime routine before going to bed, they are considered lip balms, and they are on the bottom row. So you guys are always coming after me for not opening products, like the packaging, so you guys can see the colors. So I will be doing that for this segment. So with the exception of like the see-through packaging. So I have here full size from e.l.f. a liquid lipstick, the the Modern Metals palette, liquid lipstick. It's kind of like a brownie orangey color. It was very pretty, comfortable on the lips. I have the Stila Stay All Day liquid lipstick in the color Bocce. Very drying on the lips, super nude. Did not look good on me at all. I had to layer some stuff on top of it. Then I have the Too Faced Melted Matte lipstick, liquid lipstick in the color Queen Bee. Another kind of brownie mauvey color. Not the most comfortable on the lips. Then from Sephora, I have this little lip stain in, I don't know the color. Oh, the color 38, but I don't know the name. Very nice, pretty berry color. I love these liquid lipsticks from Sephora. They're super comfortable, and this is one of the ones that I did remove the stopper because I enjoyed it so much. Oops, sorry, that was brownie. Regular traditional lipsticks. I have a full size here from Maybelline. This is in the color Naked Coral 555. These were very popular way back when. That's the color right there. Then I have 3 from Urban Decay, the Revolution lipsticks. This one is the regular Revolution in the color Turn On. It's a very pretty pinky color. Then the other 2 are in the Sheer Revolution formula. And I have this one in the color Sheer F-Bomb, which I use as a cream blush. After I blended it out and put a face powder on top, it didn't look this bright, but love it. Then I have Sheer Shame, which was a very pretty, like a dark berry color, kind of similar to the cherry, what is it called? The one from Clinique. Kind of similar to that shade. So very, very pretty. Then I have a few minis here from Marc Jacobs. This is in the Kiss Kiss Bang Bang color. Very pretty. Then 2 from Bite Beauty. I have this one in the color Aborigine. It was a very pretty color, like a burgundy plummy shade. And then the mini one is in the color Palomino, Kimchi. And it's a hot pink. Loved wearing this in the summer and spring. I thought it looked really nice on me. Then I have a baby Velvet Teddy from MAC. I have 3 Velvet Teddies in full size, so I better start using those. Then lip glosses, I have this one from Too Faced. Is it Too Faced? Yeah, the Pink Swan lip gloss. It was a very glittery, clear gloss. 2 from Buxom. They were in the shade Dolly and White Russian. These are very comfortable on the lips. I've used them for years, and I really do enjoy them. Then I have another lip gloss from Too Faced. This is the Lip Injection Glossy. This was kind of a little bit tingly. Kind of looked too nude on my lips, to be honest. I used it on top of something else, but I don't think it's something I would repurchase. And then this one from Patrick Ta was surprisingly comfortable. I don't think it's, oh yeah, it says She's Expensive. That's the name of the lip gloss. And it was nice. It's kind of, the packaging is leaking though, because I did remove the stopper. So if I were to get this again, I would not remove the stopper because it is very sticky. Then for lip balms, my nighttime routine, I have this one from Bratislava. Cannot get it here in the States. I have 2 of the Albertsons brand, I think, Signature Care lip balms. These were, I got a 2-pack free with my purchase. Albertsons is a local, I don't know if it's local, but it's one of my grocery stores here in town. So I am a member of the rewards program. So you get like free items for free every now and then. And this was one of them. Then the e.l.f. lip balm with SPF. This one I used it as a nighttime lip balm because the SPF is well expired. I've had this for years, so I didn't even try to use it during the day. This one from Jane Iredale, the Just Kiss Lip and Cheek Stain. It was just fine. I used it at night. I never used it on my cheeks, but there was so little in here that I used it up in like 2 weeks. It was just ridiculous how fast I went through this guy. And then from Fresh, I have the Sugar Rosé lip balm. These lip balms are always very nice. I've never purchased them full size. I've always only gotten them with gift with purchase. Then from Sephora, I used up the moisturizing lip balm in the coconut scent. It was just a clear lip balm. And then this one from NARS. This is the, I don't know what it's called. It's too small. but it's like the Laguna lip balm, whatever, but it goes on so clear that I did use it at night before going to bed. So there you have it. Those are all the lip products that I used up in 2024. Very happy with the amount of products because I really wanted to make a dent in my collection, and I feel like I did. And then last but not least, my fragrances before my camera dies. I have my body sprays here. I have two from Victoria's Secret. This one was in Sweet Temptation. No, Sweet Charm. Then this one, Temptation Water Blooms. I think I enjoyed this one more than this one. And then the Rose Fine Fragrance Mist from Bath & Body Works. Loved it. I have these two that I bought at Marshall's from the brand John Mark Paris, the I Love You Forever scent. And then from Marc St. Jean, the scent Noir. I do have the scent Flower or Fleur in my backstock. And then I was working on this last one, this last couple of months from Gucci, Bloom. Loved it. Loved it. And then I have a few little deluxe size samples here. I have from Jimmy Choo. I don't recall the name, but it was nice. From Givenchy Lingered It. I think that this is a very too much of a mature scent for my liking. I would not repurchase that. And then Penrose Secret Genius. Don't know which one's the name or the brand or which one is the name of the fragrance, but I didn't care for it. Prada Paradox though, however, really enjoyed it. I would consider buying that in the full size. And then I have, let me go on the other side, a ton of these little mini ones. And I'm just gonna run through this really quickly. I have from Jo Malone, English Pear and Free. Oh, sorry, you're not seeing it. From Jo Malone, English Pear and Freesia. I love this scent. It's one of my favorites. Then from the Seven Virtues, Vanilla Woods. Didn't care for this one. Calvin Klein Defy. Didn't care for this one either. Prada Candy. I used to not like this scent, but I guess as I'm maturing and getting older, I enjoyed it. I didn't mind it this time around. Then I used this one. It's a man's cologne sample, but I still use it. Then from Floral Street, I guess Wonderland Peony. I don't remember this scent, and I can't sniff anything out of it, so I don't know if I would get it. Then I have My Way from Giorgio Armani. It was fine. And then last but not least, Flower Bomb by Victor and Rolf. So it's all blurry. You guys can't even see it, but trust me that it says Flower Bomb. Alrighty, so you guys saw all the items. Now it's time to compare the numbers to last year's numbers. So if you guys don't care for the totals, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you're staying, thank you. I appreciate you guys for that. So anyway, getting started with 2023, the primers. I used up 7 this year. Last year I used up 7. So it stayed the same. For foundations, I used up 6 this year. Last year I only used 4, so I'm glad that I was able to use up 2 more. You guys I did mention in my video that some of them were like halfway used up, so that always helps. Concealers, I only used up 1. Last year I used up 4. I've been kind of lazy with concealers. I really don't feel like I need concealers. I don't feel like I have like really dark under eyes. I always get my 8 hours of sleep a night, so it's just something that I feel like I don't need right now at this point in my life, you know. Face powders, I used up 11. That's in combination with loose and pressed powders. Last year I used up 12, so about the same. Bronzers, I used up 4 powder bronzers and 1 cream bronzer. Last year I used up, I think it was 3 powder and 1 cream product as well, so almost about the same. Then for blush, this year I used up 4 total, 3 powder and 1 cream blush. And then last year I have 0 and 3, so I think that means I used up 0 powder and 3 cream blushes. Oh yes, because I was working on my e.l.f. cream blush palette. That's why. That's what it is. I remember now. Highlighter, this was really disappointing for this year. I used up a total of 5. 3 powder and 2 cream, whereas last year in 2022 I had used up 7 powder and 5 cream. So I was really glowy in 2022. It's actually a step that I kind of skipped this year. I wasn't feeling the highlighter look. So even using it under my foundation like I usually do with the cream products, It's just, I don't know, it's just one of those. Setting sprays, I used up 7 this year. Last year I used up 6, about the same. Brow colored products, I used up 3 this year. Last year I only used up 2, so 1 more, yay. Brow gel, however, I only used up 2. Last year I used up 4. But that's something that I've kind of gotten away from, like a step that I kind of gotten away from. So I don't know if I'm going to get back into it, but for now I don't feel like I need to go buy any brow gels. Eyeshadows, this one, I used up 14 eyeshadows this year. Last year I used up 18, and the year before, I have the stats here too, for 2021 I used up 18 as well. So 4 less. I did mention in the video that I kind of been getting lazy about setting my eyeshadow primer with a cream shadow eyeshadow. So I think that's, since I only used up 1, I think that's where like the decrease in numbers came from. So hopefully this year I can force myself a little bit more to use a cream shadow so I can set my eyeshadow primer and help those numbers go up a little bit. Cream shadow, I only used up 1, and it was a crayon, eyeshadow crayon. Last year I used up 4. Shadow primer, I used up 2. Last year I used up 1, so that's nice. Pencil liners, this is something else that I mentioned. I kind of been getting away from doing an eyeliner. As you guys see, I'm not wearing eyeliner today. And I don't know, I've been kind of liking the look that it gives me without eyeliner. Maybe it's just I'm being lazy, but I've noticed a trend throughout the years. This year I used up 2, 2022 I used up 3, 2024 I used up 4. So it's like every year I've been doing 1 less. So I don't know. Hopefully this year I can at least do the 2 that I did this year. Same thing with liquid liner. This year I used up 1, 2022 I used up 2, 2021 I used up 3. So it's an eyeliner thing. I'm just not into it currently. So I don't know what's happening. Lash primer, I used up 2, the same thing last year and the year before, so that's kind of stayed the same. Mascara, I used up 10. Last year I used up 9, so about the same. Lip primers, I didn't have any this year, so that's a category that's at 0 and I don't care to purchase anymore. Lip liners, I used up 5 this year. Last year I used up 0. I didn't have any during the time that I made my inventory last year, so I'm glad that the ones I purchased I was able to get out of that same year. You know, like a normal person, aka not a hoarder. Lipsticks, that includes liquid lipsticks and regular lipsticks. I used up 12, so very happy about that. Last year I only used up 9. Not only, but you know, in comparison, I used up more this year than I did last year. Lip glosses, I used up 5. Last year I also used up 5, so that stayed the same. Lip balms, I used up 8. Last year I used up 7, so 1 more, which is nice. And then for perfume or fragrances, I used up 6. Last year I used up 4, and this includes either my perfume bottles or my body spray full-size bottles. Then I used up 4 deluxe size samples. Last year I used up 8, and then I used 8 little mini samplers, and last year I used up 9. I didn't use up any nail polish this year. I didn't do a project polish, so that's at 0. And the total number of items that I finished was 131 items, which is a difference of minus 12 products compared to last year. Last year I used up 143, so 12 products less. However, my money amount was considerably higher than last year. Today's valued Makeup Empties is valued at $1,733, whereas last year it was valued at approximately $1,291, making a difference of $442. Yeah, and that's it. I feel like if I had used like the 12 items to even out the products with last year, I feel like I would have easily gone over $2,000. And I did mention this in my Instagram, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, you wouldn't have known, but I was shocked at how expensive things are. I don't, like, throughout the year, let me show you something. Throughout the year, as I finish something, I write it down and I write down the value of it, so that at the end of the year, I just add it all up. Like when I finished this page, I added it up, and then I moved on to page 2. And then once I finished page 2, I added it up, and then I move on to page 3. and so on and so forth. So at the end of the year, I only add up the totals from the previous pages. You know what I mean? So I'm not like doing everything at once at the end of the year. It just saves a lot of time and a lot of headaches. So I thankfully don't need to buy any makeup right now, and I don't feel the need to go buy. Nothing that's come out recently has piqued my interest, like, oh my gosh, I want to buy it, which is nice because I'm currently filming, in the middle of filming my makeup inventory. So it's going to be nice to see how much my numbers have gone down. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.